The situation in Kenya is becoming increasingly dire as security forces are on high alert, tightening their grip ahead of anticipated fresh protests demanding the resignation of President William Ruto. Police have erected numerous roadblocks on routes leading to the State House, attempting to deter thousands of determined protesters who have vowed to occupy State House, despite the president's recent retreat on proposed tax hikes in his 2024 finance bill after intense demonstrations. The demonstrations, which saw a part of the Parliament House being burned and have already resulted in the deaths of at least 23 people and left 30 others with bullet wounds, clearly show no signs of abating, leaving Africa and the rest of the world wondering whether Kenya is on the brink of more anarchy in the weeks ahead. Before we dive into our topic today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channels and ringing the bell to be notified about all our exciting future videos. President Ruto is facing the most significant challenge of his two-year tenure as the youth-led protest movement has swiftly escalated from online condemnations of the tax hikes into widespread rallies, calling for a comprehensive political overhaul. In a speech on Wednesday, June 26, 2024, Ruto defended his decision to raise taxes on essential items such as bread, cooking oil, and diapers, citing the necessity to reduce Kenya's high debt, which has made borrowing difficult and weakened the currency. But most Kenyans, particularly the youth, disagreed with Ruto, as evidenced by the widespread and intense nature of the protests calling for him to withdraw the controversial bill, and Ruto quickly succumbed to the pressure. Having reflected on the continuing conversation regarding the content of the Finance Bill 2024 and listening keenly to the people of Kenya who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill. The people have spoken, Ruto said during a television address Wednesday. But protesters in Kenya insist they would have a 1 million people march on Thursday, June 27, 2024, despite Ruto granting their main demand of rejecting the bill. A widely shared social media graphic encouraged people of all ages to take to the streets across the country on Thursday and block roads heading to the capital, Nairobi. Some protesters say they will participate in this second round of demonstrations in memory of those killed in the first round of protests, while others remain resolute in their demand for Ruto's resignation. Right now is not about just the finance bill, but about #RutoMustGo. Political activist and protester Davis Tafari said, "We have to make sure that Ruto and his MPs have resigned and fresh elections are held. We occupy State House for dignity and justice," he added. The ongoing protests in Kenya, marked by their volatile and intense nature, underscored the deep-seated discontent the majority of Kenyans feel toward their government. Despite President William Ruto's retreat on the controversial 2024 finance bill, the protesters' demands have escalated to calls for his resignation, reflecting a profound frustration with rising living costs and rampant corruption. Unlike previous demonstrations often orchestrated by political figures and mobilized along ethnic lines, these protests lack official leadership and resonate broadly across the population, particularly among the youth. The significant participation and determination of the protesters, even in the face of severe crackdowns, illustrate a pivotal moment in Kenya's political landscape. The world watches closely as the situation in Kenya unfolds, with hopes for peace to prevent further loss of life and to see if President Ruto will heed the calls for his resignation. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share, and subscribe to the New Africa channel for more insightful content in the future.